Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, July 22nd. Skipped yesterday, just whatever, boring day after work, hung out around the house. Nothing exciting. Today got up a fair bit early. And, I spent time relaxing, organizing some shopping lists. I gotta get groceries and some other stuff. Whether I get to that today or not, I don't know. But also doing some editing and starting to get some more stuff inputted to edit on the Avid. I haven't gamed with my buddies in a few weeks, of course, and it may be a week or so more, depending on how Austin does on recovering. So far feeling fine, but he's still, from what I gather, had symptoms, so until we get beyond that, it's not really even a consideration, so, we've kind of put the game on pause a bit again, but I haven't edited any of it, so I'm starting to input the footage so I can start getting that edited. But that'll take time, and so I'm giving it time. I just talked to Nick, and since, obviously we, couldn't go out to eat over the weekend, we're gonna go find somewhere to get some food here today. El Rancho Nuevo. Now open, amigos. That means friends in Spanish. I took 2 years of Spanish to do that one.
Instead of a pollo fundido.
You look good?
I'll eat it. It is definitely less than the other one would be.
Huh. I thought about getting one of them giant burritos like Bob got last time, but I just got the quesadillas because they're so good, and I know I like them. But I'm behind on when I should change the air filter because I should have done that like a month or so ago. So the Home Depot, because there's a bit of a rattling in my air conditioning, and I'm thinking maybe much too old of an air filter might be causing some of it. And I think it's because this thing is way too dirty, because that's gray and it's supposed to be white. So I'm gonna throw that old one away and get it switched out, and hopefully things get better. And that's much better. I think I'm gonna set a reminder in my phone, make sure I don't go quite so long without forgetting next time. Because probably shouldn't. And this evening, I had plans to sit in front of my computer. Dwarven Forge is going to be doing their last, on the Anvil Twitch live stream before their Kickstarter. Their Kickstarter launches 17 days, 17 hours, and 6 minutes from right now. And Wildlands, I'm excited. It's exciting. I've not actually gotten in on any of their Kickstarters in their past. They've only done one small Kickstarter since I've started getting into their terrain, and it just wasn't at a good time for me to think about, getting in on it. This one, I've a little more preparation and should be able to delve into it. So it's one of those ones that I'm just excited for it to be coming up. So I don't know. It's almost 6. At 6 it should start. And we'll see what news they have as far as the Wildlands upcoming.
This is on the Anvil. This is the show where we go behind the scenes at Dwarven Forge.
And that was a fun 2 hours and 20 minutes of Dwarven Forge live stream. First off, things tomorrow they'll be restocking things, so I don't know. Part of me is like, no, save your money for the upcoming Kickstarter. Part of me has been looking at one of the sets that I'm thinking they'll be restocking tomorrow in a very low supply that I've been wanting to get 4 months, for several months now. So I don't know. I'll decide by then. The Plague Stone stuff that I'd pre-ordered should be coming mid-September-ish. And then they went into the Wildlands Kickstarter stuff. Some things saying, showing off some cool pieces, being aware that their stuff is expensive. They have boards that work like the terrain trays, the metal trays that things stick to, except they're the thickness of a floor tile, so you can use them in place of floor tiles for just bulk coverage at a lot cheaper. Which has me hopeful, because and they've talked about different price points for some different things, and I was looking at it, I was like, how I was feeling like the cheaper stuff was probably not going to be worthwhile because it wasn't going to meet my needs. But it seems like possibly a big part of what makes it cheaper will be that it'll have those floors instead of the finely sculpted floors. And I'll be willing to sacrifice that to get more with Wilderness, you want to cover a big area at table. So I like that. And also they have grids baked into those, and theoretically also into the terrain trays from the sound of it. Which will just make them more useful for me as, for like D&D and such. They're continuing their trifecta system from their cave pieces, which I don't have any of at this point, but I'm aware of from looking into their stuff, and I'll be getting some of those when that Plague Stone pre-order stuff arrives. But it looks like they've continued and improved on that. Also, they showed off one of the waterfall pieces, which was one of the things that really got me into the Kickstarter originally, was seeing them, doing proofs of concept with like building massive waterfalls out of different bricks. From the sound of it, they don't have those. Those were the idea of you could stack multiple waterfall pieces next to each other to make as wide of a waterfall as you wanted, and doing all sorts of... They don't have that. What they have is sort of their 3-inch wide block that has a waterfall running down the center. They have a steep, a narrow, and then like the spill out at the bottom. But they've commented that's what they're doing for this time around, and it's possible they can expand on it later. But it looks cool, so I may still be interested. It's not quite the thing that they'd originally done mock-ups of that had me really interested, where they were building these super wide waterfalls, some of which had like rocks jutting out, so like you could imagine like players having to jump up and down on slippery rocks on the side of a waterfall to fight something that's maybe flying off the side or whatever. But it's something. I don't know. I'm excited. Excited for that. Not sure how much I'm going to spend. But we'll see. But it is starting to get late, because that did take, almost 2.5 hours. It's starting to get a little dark out. Admittedly, sitting in the other room, I figured it was just pitch black out. It's nighttime. There's still a fair amount of light, but not all that much. So, I'm tidy some things up and get to bed. That was exciting. That was the thing that I'd, been mostly looking forward to today, was seeing the new information, some of the new teasers for the upcoming Dwarven Forge Wildlands Kickstarter. And I wasn't disappointed. So cool. I'm really loving that. I'm getting into the 3D terrain with my D&D, which is something I'd wanted to do since I was a kid, but it's expensive. It's still expensive, but I've wanted it long enough. Anyways, gonna get ready and go to bed. Thank you for joining me, and joining me as my journey continues. Bye.